Hey, this is What If Ollie, and this is actually my first time actually using my intro. I think I may have actually not. My editing software just doesn't work. Um, so today we are doing What If Deku was the reincarnation of Iron Man and had a leveling system, MHA and Marvel crossover-ish type thing. Alright, so I've got an entire list of things you can do. It's not too big, but pretty much got everything Iron Man can do and everything Solar Leveling can do, I'm pretty sure it's called. Let me just check if it's working. So there's also like special powers like that comes from each other. I mean, he's obviously got a starting amount which you can obviously boost, but it's about. So he was really smart by the time he reached 80, so I'm gonna say he's already at about 300, like level 300 in intelligence. So he should be able to get through quite a lot. When he increases his intelligence, one, if he puts in one stat point, like he wouldn't strength, which would make it go up one, but if he puts one stat point into intelligence, it comes out as 3 instead of just 1 they actually paid in. Let me just take the time. Hang on. Sorry about that. I just had to fix a problem as my brother just came back again trying to annoy me whilst recording, which never works as I always manage to pause it in time. Like, as soon as I hear someone going next to the door, I pause it, wait for a bit, and if they don't come through, I start recording again. Right, so I'm pretty sure I explained how if you pay in one stat point to his intelligence, it comes out as 3 instead. So it's basically times 3 on intelligence. He obviously has his inventory. He has I'm gonna say it just came randomly biologically. His reactor in his chest. It will work pretty much forever, except it will basically work forever. It just has I'm going to say another battery that works on other stuff that he needs to recharge. Although it will be like that. He has stat points you can boost that with. So basically, the higher his intelligence, the higher his battery life for his like secondary battery that goes with all his weapons and stuff like that. Sorry about that. That's just my intro right there. So he also has the Jarvis Amish things and stuff like Captain America Super Serum and Mark II. The Super Serum will only give him a boost of 50 or so strength. And as his leveling system was combining with the Iron Man reincarnation, all of that happened. He also has an option where he selects and then a door that nobody can see unless he opens it, like a portal comes up and he can go through to his like special garage. He can get pretty much anywhere he's been before inside of it, so he can just go inside. Like if he just doesn't want to stay inside the car when his mum's taking him somewhere, he can just go inside. As he's already been in his car, he can go inside his garage, start working on stuff, play a few video games, because he can pretty much bring almost anything inside. As long as it's within like a certain height limit. Like it looks exactly like his old garage, except a bit more futuristic, like a bit upgraded. Oh yeah, and the Jarvis arms, like everything in there has infinite energy. Thanks to his reactor, it has as much energy as the infinite energy as the first battery in the reactor. And also it is the new element version, the not poison sub edition. So I think that's a bit too much explaining right there. I've had like 6 minutes of talking about that, and only that. So, hang on a second, I'm just thinking about how I should start this off. So he was born like a normal child, except after like a minute of him being alive, he, like, what we know as the arc reactor started, and they didn't know what it was just some circular thing, started to form in his chest. And as that happened, as he had 300 intelligence from the start, he was able to open his eyes. He couldn't form a sentence because, he's not used to the new body. But he could easily read the hang on. Sorry about that, my brother just came in again. I had to chase him downstairs to get him out. And then my mum started going through saying, and keeping the door open, I had to argue to tell her, like, no, I need the door closed so that it doesn't annoy me whilst I'm recording. If you wonder why I'm a bit out of breath. Alright. So, yeah, he could clearly see the writing of do accept player. Or do you accept the title player? Or the power player. They said he will never be able to get a quirk, but this is quite weird. Maybe it's just a new genetic that you just randomly got. But we are sure this is not a quirk. So they were kind of confused. They kept him in there for like another month or so, but he could clearly open his eyes and actually say a word every, I'd say, few minutes. He was able to like write, complete everything, and then Deku thought to himself, should I accept this? It seems pretty legit, pretty real. Hang on. Alright, I had to sort that out. No, I had to sort that out again. You may have heard the part of the word I was just saying. It's quite hard to tell if he's in the next room. Don't know why the parents let him alone upstairs. Anyway, so after a while of like calculations on a whiteboard they gave him because they were looking at how he was and stuff. So he did his calculations, and then he realized he should just accept this. He's like, he was born with it, so he might as well. With the one word he had, he said okay, or sort of thinking at the same time, and he then thought, I accept, as he couldn't say it. Now, a stat window then came up, and then his chest reactor complete went from half complete to fully complete and glowing and everything. So we looked at it, like the menu for a while, like for like a second, and then realised, okay then, I see what I meant by player. It's like a game. He then said quest, and then it went up with alert saying quest. He clicked this warning, do you accept? And he's like, do you accept this quest? And then he accepted it, thinking he'd get nothing of it, and it then popped up with like 1 meter run, 1 push up. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. Also, you should probably already know my name from the username. Anyway, or if you didn't realize. Anyway, so he looked at it for a few seconds and then decided to read it. And like looked at the quest thing for a few seconds and he decided to read it. And it said, it said that 1 meter run, 1 push up, 1 sit up, and 1 squat. So he did those and got his, like, I'm gonna say triple, because he triple the amount, which would mean he'd get about I think it was 9 he got on his first quest. So I'm just gonna keep it at 9 every time until it starts getting higher and higher up. So he then invested them smart, he put 1 in each, but then once he got to the intelligence one, he pressed 1, and then it came up with 3, and I was like, it must be because of how smart I am. I mean, he also knew, he was Iron Man and stuff like that, but he still has the personality of Deku and stuff. So, I'm just gonna sit down now on my bed because I had to move rooms. So let me just take the time. Think I was at about the mind thing. All right. So I'm gonna say that he realizes that he gets 3 times the amount of intelligence because of his old Iron Man state. So he then decided to invest another into intelligence and realized it went all the way up to 306 intelligence. Now, he then decided to invest the rest smartly, evenly as much as he possibly could. And he then realized he could do double the amount he just did, and that he was a bit smarter. than he used to be. So he then looked at inventory and then realised that he had like an inventory, so he put a whiteboard pen in and it just disappeared. The doctors looked over and saw this and was like, he doesn't have a quote. This is weird. We'll keep him in here for another week. He was supposed to release him tomorrow, but this is new. And there's that weird circly thing, looks like it's complete. Anyway, so Deku then looks at the, I don't know if that was. He then looks at a new option saying subcategory because of Iron Man Rebirth. It literally said that. And then it said garage unlocked. He even saw in his inventory, his normal inventory, there was the arm things and a Mark II, a copy of the Mark II anyway. And the AI is not the same, it's like it's new. So, I'm going to say he doesn't have complete knowledge, he just knows he's Iron Man and has like the same level of intelligence. And he knows that he's got to protect the world as Iron Man and stuff like that. He also knows he was rebirthed from Tony Stark. If you haven't watched any Iron Man movies or any movie with Iron Man in it, they mention his name actually quite a few times in it. Maybe once or twice they only said Tony, but they usually just say Tony Stark, something like that. If you haven't watched Iron Man, I don't know what you're doing, or any movies with Iron Man in it, or Marvel, I don't know what you're doing, you gotta watch it, trust me. So, I'm gonna say he walks in, a portal appears, he walks into it when he collects the garage, and it looks just like his old lab, just a bit more futuristic. And that there was no like path going up. He still had like the car storing area. He even had a few of the tools. So he went back to his normal inventory, picked up the Mark II, put it in the tube where the suits were, and so if it was the first one, oh no, I've forgotten the notes. Hang on, I'll be back in a sec. Alright, so yeah, he put the robots, they had wheels in this one, so he just put them down. He then found a super serum like machine and everything, and he was like, oh right, Captain America. And he was like, oh, I forgot about him. And he was like, this was his the machine that gave him his strength. Maybe I should use this, and it too will give me